Okay,
All right,
cool.
cool. All right. I never set up a Zoom meeting before, so I'm a little bit, brand new at this. So I studied up, and I think I did it right. Check me out. Look at me, I'm smart.
Nice. Yeah, no, I feel you on that. That's how it was it for me, like at the beginning of quarantine. Like
Really?
I just had to figure out so much like shit. Like yeah. Setup.
You.
Here's my setup right here. Look, I got myself a ring light. I got a nice camera. Look at that. I got
So I need to get myself one of those nice ring lights, man. I think that's how they really doing it. Because
this one.
otherwise, I just got candlelight. Can you see me
That's
better with the candlelight?
yeah, no, it's good. That's good. That's good. That works just as well, honestly. You get the nice hazy light, like
I
you
got
don't
the TV right here, kind of put a little
yeah.
afterglow on me a little bit,
Yeah.
So I mean, I
TV
don't
for
want
the
it. I don't care about people seeing me. I want them to see you.
right.
That's all that's important to me right now. So
That's good. Well, that's good. I got the light up then. That's yeah.
you're
Nice
good.
and
You're good. You got the Christmas lights going and everything. That's cool. You
oh
got your,
yeah.
you got
I
your
had
feng
to
shui.
yeah, I had to fancy it up in my room for a little bit. I've just been in here for the whole time, so I'm just like I gotta I gotta change it up a little bit.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
So, man, let's get it kicked off, man. First off, man, how have you been? How's your family? How's the brothers? And man, how's everybody doing right now?
We're good for the most part. Obviously like staying quarantined, we're staying indoors and stuff. Fern is with his children and his partner. They're living close to my parents' house, but they're not at my parents' house. They're
Okay.
doing their own thing. My mom and dad are doing their own thing. The youngest brother, Luis, you know Luis.
I
He
know.
he yeah, he is living with my mom and dad right now, and Eric is actually in Champaign right now with his partner, like he's all the way down in Champagne, so they're just
Wow.
like doing their own thing down there. Just because it's like like can't really do anything music wise. Um,
Really?
yeah, Eric's partner is Emily Blue. I don't know if you know musician Emily Blue,
That
but
sounds very familiar. Yeah.
yeah,
Emily
she does a
Blue.
lot of shows. Yeah, she did a lot of shows in the city. She's really good, really really fucking good.
Okay.
Sorry. Really
Okay.
good. Yeah, well
So
she
Eric is in
yeah
Champagne. Okay.
yeah Eric's
With
in
Emily
Champagne.
Blue. All right.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing. And as for me, I am working from home right now, and I'm
Okay.
mostly just doing my own solo project right now. I'm actually just getting started up with like game streaming.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm doing that with the brothers. Actually, we have a show going on tonight, quote unquote, like a show. We call
Okay.
it we call it Avantist Night Live. So we're gonna do it
Yeah.
tonight.
I
Yeah,
saw that. So that's just you guys playing video games, and that's like, okay.
yeah, pretty much. We're gonna do it tonight with a couple of other musicians from like other states and stuff like that, just to kind of just get the ball rolling and see how it works out today, and then from there we're gonna
Okay.
kind of build it up, get more like artists and friends on, that kind of thing, make it a
So
weekly thing.
okay. So what games are you guys going to be playing tonight?
Well, tonight we're gonna be playing this game Among Us. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing that, which is gonna be fun. We also have because if we're not gonna have any guests on or anything like that, Eric, Fern, Luis, and I usually play this game called Rogue Company. And
Never
like
heard of it.
it's pretty cool. I'd never heard of it either. It's a free game and it's just like it's a shooter. And usually I don't like shooter games or anything like that, but it's really fun to actually play together. And like I feel
Okay.
like I'm getting better at it, so like I'm starting to get a little bit cocky. So
Okay.
that's the point
So
I'm at
is
right now.
is it kind of like what's that game with the Black Ops? Is it kind of like that? Like you say, it's a shooter game.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind of
it's kind
like
of
yeah.
it's like
Okay.
it's like Fortnite, like the third person perspective instead of first person. So it's like Fortnite, like Apex type of thing. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's
See,
one of those kind of games.
I'm a gamer, but I'm not a very good gamer.
Mm.
I got a PlayStation 3, which seems ancient by your standards, probably, but you
No, that's
know,
fine.
I've been stuck on the same two missions on Grand Theft Auto 4 for like the last 6 years.
That's fine. That's fine, dude. Every time I
So
pop
it's
in Grand
not.
Theft Auto, no, it's okay. Every time I pop in Grand Theft Auto, I don't play the story mode at all. I just mess around. That's it.
That's what all I do. You know what I do when I have a bad day and I'm stressed out? I get on Grand Theft Auto and just wreak havoc.
Yeah,
Shoot up a bunch of
it's
people, steal some
yeah,
cars,
it's
get a
nice.
hooker.
It's a nice yeah. It's a nice way to vent. It's a
Yeah,
nice way
it
to vent,
is.
honestly.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah.
But what's weird, what's weird though, is
Hmm.
that today it seems like a lot of people want to do Grand Theft Auto type shit in real life.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times I've seen cars smash into buildings, all these crazy accidents,
Mhm.
especially when COVID hit and everybody was quarantined, the streets opened up. You know,
Yeah.
I work every day and I'm driving,
Mm.
so I see like everything opens up, but it seemed like every jackass who has a Dodge Challenger or something like that is zooming up and down the streets everywhere. So it seems like there's been a lot more like random, you know, Grand Theft Auto type accidents. You know,
Right.
it's been kind of crazy.
I've never seen like I haven't seen anybody like acting like an asshole in real life, but I
Oh
have
yeah,
seen like videos of people like for some reason you're right though. Like ever since quarantine, I feel like there's been a lot of videos where it's like, oh, check out this crazy Grand Theft Auto type of
yeah.
car chase that happened in real life. You
Yeah,
know,
they
like people are
smash
just
into a building and then just run away. You know,
it's
I'm
like
like, what the,
yeah,
what the,
exactly. Like,
what the hell are you doing, man? You
slow
know, so
down, slow down.
people just don't care, man. And you know, like
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everybody's been quarantined,
Hmm.
but the work that I do, I'm in the streets every day. I'm in and out of people's houses and whatnot.
Mm.
So you know, it's yeah, thank God I'm good. I'm safe. I haven't had any problems, symptoms, fevers, or anything. But I
That's
get to
good. That's really
see,
good.
you know, I get to see people in the streets, you know, all the time, just zooming in and out, you know. So during all of this COVID stuff, I have started driving like a complete grandpa.
That's that's fine. That's fine.
I have to,
Yeah.
because I can't afford to get in any kind of accident. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm Mr. 35, looking
Yeah.
both ways. You know.
Driving the speed limit. Yeah, I
Oh
feel
man, sometimes under the speed limit, you know, because I can't. I'm telling you, man, I can't afford to get in any kind of accident, man, because they gonna, you know, test me and all kinds of crap. Because
right.
when I get in an accident, they treat you like a criminal. You know, they gonna drug test
Right.
you and the whole thing, and I'm like, man, come on, man, I ain't got time for all that. So I'm
Fucking
gonna
bullshit.
drive slow, real slow, you
I
know.
don't want to. I don't want to like freak you out or anything, but like, isn't it? Don't they like sometimes? Don't people get pulled over if they drive too slow too? I thought I heard that somewhere. Right?
Well, that's never happened to me,
Oh, okay.
but I guess it could happen. You know what I'm saying? So
I've heard that. I've heard that somewhere. I forgot who told me that. Either they
these
were driving
guys,
like extremely
let the
slow.
police go after the fast ones, okay?
Right. Yeah. I think eventually they
I'm,
go after the fast drivers first, and then it's just like
I'm
if
in
they
the
have the
slow
opportunity
lane,
to, that's what it seems
just
like.
just trying to let people speed and cut in front of me
Yeah.
all they want, you know.
We're just being polite. We're just being polite. We're just driving slow, letting everybody pass. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Man, so anyway, I really want to get into your new project. Now
Hmm.
you pronounce it Troigo, right?
Troigo, yes.
Troigo. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it was Troigo, but whatever.
I've
It's
heard that
Troigo.
before. I've heard that before, and that's fine. Yeah, it's Troigo.
I thought it was okay. Anyway,
That's okay.
I've been liking it. I've been digging it. I like
Thank you.
the new single you got out, Dust on the Water, right?
I got that one I released in when was that? That was September. The newest
In
one I released was
September.
yeah, that one I released in September, and then there was after that I released like an EP of two covers of this band called Café Tacuba
Now
because I
I
just
wanted
wanted.
to get into that too. Now
Mhm.
let's get right into it. Now I know that Cafe de Cuba is one of your influences
Yeah,
because we talked about that before. I mean, we did an interview back in 2014,
yeah, right with
and you
Avantist. Yeah.
talked extensively about bands like Cafe de Cuba. And
Hmm.
what made you want to do this album of covers this Friday
Uh,
night? Yeah.
well, it mostly had to do with like I'm just hearing on the news like like with what's going on with like the immigrant children in cages and stuff like that, and I wanted to
Hmm.
raise money. I've been trying to raise money with these singles that are coming out to donate, so I did that. I wanted to do that just because first off I love that band. I wanted to cover them, so that was a fun exercise for me. But on top of that, I wanted to actually bring awareness to what's going on in some way. You know what I mean? Even if it's like a little bit of awareness, like it's something. I just want to try
Because
it.
yeah, the kids in cages, that whole situation is just so inhumane. I can't understand how
Yeah.
any human could allow something like that to happen.
Yeah, or just like kind
And
of breeze past it and stuff. I just
yeah,
it's so awful. I hear that
let's
every day, and it's just like what's going on with like Democracy Now. My roommates are always playing it every morning. It's just like such a bummer. Like it's just
man,
it's awful what's going on right now.
it's a lot of stuff that's a bummer, man. And I hate that it seems like COVID has kind of taken away the the spotlight or the emphasis on things like the kids in cages
Hmm.
down on at the border and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you is that why you continue to want to create awareness for this?
Yeah, well, that was mostly my plan for that EP, and just
Okay.
because I like whatever I was gonna release that month, I wanted it to be about that, just because that's all I was thinking about. Um, so I ended up doing it with Café Tacuba just because, yeah, I really like those songs, and I thought that was a good exercise, and I thought that would because like usually when people do covers, they get a lot more. It gets a lot more traffic than if you're
Hmm.
just releasing a song that's just your own song, you know. So I
Right,
figured
right,
it would
right, right.
help in some way.
And I listen to that too. I mean, I like it. I love it. I may
Thank
not be
you.
able to understand everything that you're singing, but I love it. I love the music, no doubt.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Thank you. I
So
appreciate
I
that.
definitely want to promote it because it's all for a great cause. You know,
Hmm.
or well, it's for a good cause. You know,
Hmm.
we're trying to create awareness to try to help some people
Yeah.
with the music.
Yeah,
Some
for sure.
excellent music, by the way. You know,
Thank you. Thank
so
you.
you've been putting out singles every
Mhm.
month since September,
Yeah, I've been trying to. No, it's actually been since August, I want to
since
say. August.
August.
Yeah, August was my first release, and then I released no, I'm sorry. Hold on. Whoa. I actually released one back in April. I released a single back in April because like
Salute, right?
yeah,
Was that
yeah,
Salute?
I released Salud in April because I had a whole album. I still have that album somewhere, but I'm not releasing it yet just because I don't know what to do with it yet. I released a single in April, and then I released another single that was like a cover sometime in the middle of April. That was another cover just of like this funny show that I've been watching. This show on
Okay.
Netflix called I Think You Should Leave.
Well,
It's so funny.
I have a on again, off again relationship with Netflix. Okay.
Uh,
At the beginning of the year, I decided that I didn't want to do any more reoccurring payments. So guess who was one
oh,
of those reoccurring payments?
Netflix,
Netflix. So I cut
Spotify. What about
Netflix off.
Spotify?
What? Okay,
What
I'm
about?
gonna do that.
Oh,
But
you don't have to
so
do it.
well, my thing is like I don't. If I'm not going to use something, I'm not going to pay for it. You know.
Right, right,
So
right. Yeah, I feel you.
when I want Netflix, I'll pay for Netflix. Then
Mhm.
when I don't want it, I ain't gonna pay
Exactly.
for it no more. You know.
It's so funny. I've been doing that same exact thing this last month. Like I'm just like because I accidentally ordered HBO for a month. So I'm like, I have it
Uh-huh.
for a month. Let me catch up on everything. So that's exactly what I did this last month. I literally caught up on everything. I'm like, I don't need to, subscribe anymore.
Mm-mm.
I'm good, you know?
And that's what I did with Netflix. I kept
That's so
Netflix
funny.
1 month just so I could watch the Umbrella Academy. Finished all of
Nice.
that. Watched a couple of other movies, and then I was like, "Man, I'm good.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah.
That's it." And
That's
then
how
a
you
couple
stop being
more
lazy.
months, I'll do it again. I'll binge watch a whole bunch of stuff for a month, and then I'll be like, "Bye bye.
I feel
I
like
love
people
you."
are doing that with like The Mandalorian too. That's
Yeah,
something that I would do.
yeah. I really want to watch The Mandalorian, but I just don't want to pay for Disney Plus.
Dude, there's websites where you could just stream it, honestly.
Really?
I'll send you websites, yeah. I'm
Okay,
not gonna say it live. I'm
don't.
not
We're not gonna do it on here right now, but
gonna...
I
yeah,
want to watch that because I heard so many good things about the
yeah.
Mandalorian that I really want to watch it. I really do.
It was hard for me to get into it just because like I don't know why. I just wasn't into it at the time, but like my brother Luis has been watching it, Fernando's been watching it, and every week that comes out, they're just messaging me and just like, oh my god, you gotta watch it. I'm like, I gotta watch it. Like
Because I mean, I don't want to consider myself a Star Wars nerd, but I mean, I
Mhm.
grew up on Star Wars, fam.
Right,
Okay,
right.
you know, the first Star Wars came out, I was just a little kid, and I was
Mhm.
there. You know,
Right.
you probably too young to think about going to the movie theaters when it first came out in 1977. Did I age myself? Maybe a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
those first three Star Wars that came
Mhm.
out, you know, I was all about that. You know, I was a kid when that stuff came out. So I mean,
That's amazing. I can't even imagine. I can't even like wrap my head around that because like that was like such a big thing. That was like the biggest movie.
it
Man. Like that was
was
nothing else.
it
There was
was
nothing else like it. There was
when
no blood
Empire
before that. You
when
know.
Empire Strikes Back came out. Man, you know, you talk about some little kids had a Woody's just to go to the movie to see Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It was the most amazing thing back then. Now you got to remember. Now this was the second one came out in the '80s. Now all of that
Oh
stuff
yeah.
that looks
Yeah.
hokey now
Hmm.
was amazing technology back then.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like, wow, look at
Yeah.
that. Look at those big robots and
Hmm.
look at the Ewoks. You know, it was amazing technology
Yeah.
then, you know, but now it's like, they got CGI and all this stuff
Yeah.
now.
I really
And
don't like that. And like you know what? But the thing is, it's like a lot of like there's a lot of moviegoers nowadays that try to go back into those practical effects. So like that,
mhm,
looking at that, when I see like what they do like in Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that, I think it's so beautiful because like it just gives like such a real feel to it compared to CGI. Straight up.
absolutely, it does. And
Yeah.
it, I remember back in the days, I used to have HBO as a kid, and they used to have this stuff called behind the scenes. They used to always do this stuff about how they make stuff and
Mm.
how they produce the movies and stuff like that. And it was always animatronics, puppets, you
Yeah.
know, all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, it seems like as technology advanced, that kind of stuff kind of went away because you don't
Hmm.
see as many. Jaws was a big ass robot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
yeah.
don't see that kind of stuff anymore. You know,
It turns, yeah. The more advanced it gets, the more soulless it is. You know what I mean?
it,
The more soulless the film is.
you
It
hit
really
it right on the
sucks.
head. You
It
hit it
really
right on the
sucks.
head. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know, some CGI stuff is cool,
Hmm.
but you know, it gets a little bit overdone. It seems like it's become lazy filmmaking.
Yeah, it's a quick and easy way to do something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To film something, and it takes all the emotion out of it. You know,
It
it really
does.
does.
It
Yeah.
does. Do you think that music is the same way with a lot of way things are produced these days?
It depends. It really depends because like my biggest like well not my biggest gripe but like one of my gripes is like hearing about like I'm not trying to trash Jack White right now but like hearing how Jack White is just like it's just like music can only be good if it's mixed on tape and this and that like that's how you get like an actual you know how you get it sounding really good and this and that and he's
Mm-hmm.
like digital sound is nothing whatever like he doesn't want to do it that way he wants to make it all analog all on tape this and that but there's so much good music that has come out from that you know what I mean from doing it digitally and having those resources you know what I mean it just if anything if things going digitally and being more accessible creates more artists you know
Right. I agree.
so I really don't like people who are like purists about that kind of thing because it's just like music is music, you know?
I agree. I agree. But
Mhm.
there is a difference in certain things. It's kind of like
In sound,
having
yeah, there is
there is a
difference, yeah.
difference
Hmm.
in how things sound and how it comes across. Like um, the difference between like having something CD and having something on vinyl. Now,
Hmm.
vinyl has a whole lot of imperfections and it's got the cracklies in it, but
Yeah,
it just has a totally different feel to it, a totally more warmth. I guess the best word to use is warmth.
warmth. Yeah, no, I know exactly. You're absolutely right. Like there is a difference in that, and yeah, listening to music on vinyls is it's something else, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you know people do still collect vinyls and still do create their or put their music on vinyls and stuff like that. It's because
Oh yeah,
that just has
I
a
got like
unique
six
sound to it.
crates of vinyl sitting right here to the left of me.
Sick,
But
sick.
that's beside the point. But I mean, so I mean, to what he's saying is like, yeah, you know, he's been around long enough, he's old enough, and he can afford. I repeat, he can afford
Exactly.
to record on tape like
Yeah.
that. Now that's a lot more expensive. It's a lot more labor intensive and all of that,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But you know, if you got the money and you got a producer who has the skills, why not? But
Hmm.
for the
Of
rest
course.
of us, you know, we're going to take, I'm not going to say the easiest route, but the more economical route, you know?
Exactly, exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I had such a gripe with that because it poo poos over, for lack of a better word. It just kind of like dismisses the fact that like yeah, there's a lot of artists that have that accessibility now. So like, what's wrong with that? You know,
And
like
that's good. I
yeah,
mean, that's good. I
hmm,
think it's great because it still takes skill to know how to use the tools,
hmm,
you know, and
yeah,
then do something with it.
yeah,
Like you said, there's some incredible music out there, and it's like wow. And I'll listen to it and I'll be like, wow, the production on this is excellent. You know,
hmm,
this is really dope.
yeah,
You know, but it doesn't matter if it goes to tape or it's digital. It's all about
hmm,
how you do it and how you use the tools, and that goes
hmm,
with both things.
yeah,
Just because it's harder to do doesn't necessarily make it better. You know, it's all
exactly,
about how you use the tools. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You
It all
know,
just depends on the person. It's all very unique. You know, depends
right.
on the person.
So you did most of this production yourself?
Yeah,
You
I did it
produced it all?
all right here in this room on this computer that I'm talking to you through. I have a bunch of plugins from like friends and stuff like that. I got my own plugins. I'm just using Ableton. A lot of people would really are kind of dismissive of Ableton, but that's just what I'm best at, you know.
I use it
So
a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
and
I mean,
Ableton
you know.
Ableton's great. I love Ableton. But yeah, just all the stuff that's in my room. I have my guitar, I got my bass, and just plug it in and just record.
So
That's it.
you did everything. You did all the music and all the arrangements and everything, and just put it out.
Yeah, yeah. Except for there's what I did for the songs "Dust in the Water" and "So It Goes." I had
Mm-hmm.
my brother Luis play real drums on it, just because like at the time I was able to go to my parents' house, like you know, because COVID restrictions were a little bit like you know less restrictive. So I was over at my parents' house, still with the mask on and everything, but like I wanted to record Luis on drums just to practice on that. And Luis is like, "Hey, pull up one of your songs." Like let me just record drums over it, and then from there it actually sounded better. So I'm like, "Oh, awesome! Let me let me actually incorporate these drums into it instead of having electronic drums. So I got him on that, and I got him on Dust in the Water doing that, and that was really nice. And it helped me practice actually mixing real drums instead of having electronic drums, which was a good bonus, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, recording drums is a skill in itself, you know.
Oh, it sucks. It's so hard. It's so hard.
It is hard. That's why I say it's a skill
Yeah.
to be able to do. It doesn't matter whether it's tape or digital.
Yeah.
Tracking drums is hard, and if you know how to do it, it's labor intensive. But when you get it and you get it right, it sounds amazing.
It's very rewarding. Absolutely, it really is.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've done some recording, and I know that, you know, whatever you do, you can record 6 guitar tracks, layer them over each other. You can do the same thing with bass, same thing with drums. You can add digital. You can do all of this crazy stuff in the tools that you have with some of this digital recording software that you can use. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to use the tools, it's great. You know, so. Yeah. But Dust in the Water is one of my favorite tracks right now. I mean, I like them all, but I love Dust in the Water. That's the one that's in heavy rotation right now. So
thank you.
But give me a little bit more about where that song came from. Now I was reading a little bit about it, but go ahead.
Yeah, that song was just like, I don't know, it's just like a lot of my songs just sound like sad boy songs, just a lot about like talking about like for real, just talking about like past relationships, talking about relationships with my family and, you know, with my parents and this and that, just about like kind of just reminiscing and trying to think about, it's like, okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have done? You know, I could have done this better. Like I said, sad boy songs. So
emo.
Dust in the Water, yeah, emo. It's like emo song. So Dust in the Water was just kind of a culmination of that. I recently like got out of a relationship like this past summer, so like that was just like, it's like I'm just gonna write a song. I'm just gonna write a song about it.
Some of the best songs come from heartbreak, bro. You know?
Yeah, honestly, like beginning of quarantine, like I was feeling really down because it's like I can't see my parents and stuff like that, and that really like I had to like push myself to be like I could use this energy somewhere else, you know, and like it helped me kind of get through that. So same thing with Dust in the Water, that helped me with that. But it was just also like a really fun song to do as well because I had Luis helping me with the composition of it because I had all the parts and I would show him like, because I had it arranged in a different way and I showed it to him. He's like, oh, maybe put this part at the end right here and maybe do this right here and maybe add a solo at the end, you know. So he was a big help with that as well. So.
And that's another thing that I was going to mention about this collection of songs that you've put out, but this song in particular, Dust in the Water, is I love the arrangement of that song. You know, it's just put together really dope, man. I really love it. And you're telling me how you and Luis kind of put it together and decided how it was going to go.
Yeah, because he's a really smart guy, you know. He's just like being able to. I like collaborating with people who are able to see like the bigger picture of it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Eric and Fernando. I love collaborating with them and working with them, obviously, like because we're in a band together. But like just like being able to see a different perspective because like I'm so like zeroed in on this song where I'm focusing on this song 24/7, just listening to the same parts over and over and over again. It's really hard for me to kind of step back and be like, okay, well now that I have this big thing, let me see how can I do it from like not a subjective, like just like from like a different point of view. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to look at it from a different point of view. So it's good to bring it to somebody who I trust and I am inspired by.
And well, he's helping you out a lot because he's come a long way since the beginning. Well, I mean, I can't say the beginning. I mean, I got hip to you guys, around 2013, 14, somewhere around in there when we did the fest. Right before that.
Still babies, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't even he was like he was what, like 16 or something like that? 19, 18?
He turned 21. It was literally when the Cubs won the World Series, so that was 2016. So he was 19. It was like 19.
Like 19, yeah. He wasn't even old enough to like play at the shows and stuff yet. You know, I remember us talking about that. You know?
There's so many instances where he had to wait outside before we played.
But now, you know, he can play, you know, which is awesome.
We still make him wait outside. That's why. I'm just kidding.
So, I mean, just thinking about that though, man, really, 2020 has really broken my heart as far as being able to go to shows. That's like one of my favorite and almost one of my only things that I really love to do on a regular basis is be able to go to shows, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about some of the last shows I went to, and like I think the last time I got a chance to see you guys, the Avantist, was the when you guys did the show in the round at the Talia Hall, and that was
Yeah,
back in August of 19.
yeah.
Jeez,
That's so crazy. That's
I
like
know that was a
that's
great show, man. It was fun.
thank you. That was a whole other world. That just feels like a whole other world. Like
Mhm.
ages ago. It feels like ages
I
ago.
I couldn't miss that show though because I had like what three of my favorite bands playing in one spot at one of my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
venues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who you
You
played with? Oh
guys,
my God, I love
absolutely
them.
not. It was great.
Yeah.
But man, it's just I haven't seen a show since this time last year.
Mm,
I've been completely dry. This is the longest I've gone without going to a show in a
it's
long,
crazy.
long time.
Well,
So,
hopefully, like by the summer. I'm hoping by the summer we'll at least get
mhm.
it started back up. You know what I mean?
And I know
Like
you want to do some shows. I think you did a little thing with DZ. Now, how was that? That
it
was
was nice. It was nice. I always feel on edge when I'm like in somebody else's place because of everything that's going on. But like he keeps a tight ship. You know, he makes
okay.
sure that everybody's healthy and gets tested beforehand, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was nice to be back there just because I used to live there
Oh,
back from
really?
like yeah 2015 to like 2017. I was living there, so going back there was such a trip, especially since I haven't talked to Ben in a while.
Okay.
Um, but his setup is a lot cleaner now for sure. Like it's a lot like more solid because he used to have like camera people actually shooting and stuff like that, but it was a lot more convenient now because he actually has these rigs going on, you know, so like
Mm.
all the cameras are moving on their own and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh, that's pretty
Uh,
sexy.
and it's
That's
yeah,
pretty
it's
sexy.
very sexy, extremely sexy.
I wish I
Um,
could do something like that.
it's cool. I don't know how he figured that out, but it worked really nice, and especially because of COVID and stuff like that, it's more COVID conscious to just have one camera person instead of five at once.
Right,
So
right, right. It's
it
a
was
little
cool
bit
though.
more intimate. It was a little bit more spread out, not as many people in the space. I noticed that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and it was nice to do that because it was like it kind of I dipped my toes into like how a live Troigo performance would go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm still trying to figure it out, and like hopefully I'm ready for when it all opens
Well,
back up.
well, dude, I knew you had the chops back in 2014 because when you guys did the fest, it was just you. It was just the three of you guys. Remember, Fernando couldn't make the
Oh
show.
yeah.
You did the whole show by yourself, and you killed it. I don't know if I've
Where
ever given you props on that, man.
well I appreciate that a lot. That's
Yeah.
I loved doing that, not because it's just like yeah, like whatever Fern, like no. It's because it was just like it helped me flex another muscle of actually playing and singing at the same time, which was fun to do. What venue was it at? Was it at
That was at the promontory.
the prom? Oh my God. Yeah, I remember.
You remember now? Yeah, it's been a while. It was like 2014. It's like 6 years ago. So,
Fun
but
fact, that was actually my first time doing that. That was the first time we did like a Trivantist show because Fern couldn't make it.
see,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that was like I was nervous, but then I feel like literally it was that exact show that felt like kind of like a turning point for me because I felt more ever since then I felt more like emboldened to be like, dude, I could do anything on stage, like
yeah. Well,
I don't
I'm
have to
glad that I
worry about
had
this.
I had some part of that. You know what I
You did
mean?
have a big part in that, honestly.
That was your evolution right there. That was
it,
a
I,
catalyst,
I
shall
always
we
think of
say?
that show. I always think of that show and I'm like, that helped me be more active on stage was that show. That was like a turning point.
Yeah,
That's so
and
cool.
and
Yeah.
and what's funny is that most of the people there had never seen you guys before, so they didn't know They didn't know the wiser, but I
Yeah.
did, and I was like, David is up there killing that shit. They don't know it.
That's awesome.
They think, but see, the thing is that was cool about it was, like I said, they didn't know the wiser. They thought it was just the three of you guys, and that was just how it was. They had no
Yeah.
idea that there was one person completely missing.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a beat. You didn't. It was great, and I was like, this kid right here, man.
Well,
David has
thank you.
got it, man. He's
Thank
got it.
you.
He's got the talent, man. Because with the arrangements, you. I mean, it's obvious that you do most of the writing. You're the driving force behind all of this stuff because you were right on point with everything goes. You couldn't tell the difference. Well, I couldn't tell the difference
That's crazy.
because you knew the arrangements, you know the melodies, you wrote the melodies.
Right. Most I for Avantis, it was only like I feel like out of all the songs that we played, it's probably like around like 4 or 5 songs that I've written the melodies for. But I
Mhm.
just because Fern writes a lot of like catchy stuff, so like I'm always singing Fern's parts in my head. So like it was just like I'm singing it to myself in my car and stuff like that. So it just came naturally to be able to do that because like I'm not even thinking about like playing it on guitar because I played it on guitar so many times at that point.
Right,
Like
right,
it's
right.
just
Muscle
muscle
memory.
memory.
Muscle
Yeah.
memory, right? You
So
know
it
what's
was
up.
good practice to like separate it. You know what I mean? To be like, okay, how am I gonna sing it while I'm doing that? It was kind of hard to do that at first, but then it got fun.
So how much of that did you get the chance to practice with just the three of you guys, or during that week or whatever? Or was it still just the four of you guys?
It was well, we found out. I remember. Well, actually, I don't remember that much from that week specifically, but I know like when something like that happens, like Fern can't make a show or something like that, like he has work and he can't get out of it. It was like, okay, we got to practice a lot the week of. So I'm sure we
Mhm.
did practice a lot the week of, because
Okay.
it's just like we're doing it a different way. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, that was a very memorable show. I wish more people would have been
I
there,
love
but
that show. I love that
yeah.
show.
But you
Yeah.
guys played there again, though. I mean, I think every band that played that night played there again.
Yeah, well, because we played there a couple times because of Flowers for the Living.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like we played there twice, I want to say after that. Like two more times after
Because
that.
when we played there, the promontory had really just opened up and they had just started doing shows. So we were one
Mhm.
of the first shows that actually played the promontory. So
That's so cool. That's
kudos
so
to
cool.
us, right? We did
Yeah.
that, man. We broke that bad boy in,
Yeah.
you know. And I wish one day, hopefully, we'll be able to get a chance to do that again. I was going to be working towards that this year, but you know what happened. But
Yeah.
so what I was going to ask was like, how do you think moving forward, like after all of this is cleared up, how do you think it's going to affect live music and playing
Well,
out and stuff like
well,
that?
I was actually talking to my roommate about this a couple weeks back. It's you see a lot of venues closing down and stuff. A lot of
Hmm.
them, and it's really sad, really upsetting. But it's going to be like a resurgence of like DIY shows. I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of new places are going to open up, and it
and
just makes sense. It makes sense that that's what it's going to evolve into. You know?
I feel like there's an opportunity there too. With it's unfortunate that a lot of these classic venues are going under,
Hmm.
but like you said, it's going to be more DIY shows, which may be more opportunity for people like us who just want to do things ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's. I feel like I'm so excited to see what's going to come of this because with that comes new bands.
True,
Comes
true.
new kind of music. I feel like I'm hoping that it transitions from like whatever you know the indie white boy scene was in Chicago. It
He
turns into
said it,
something.
not me.
Sorry, so sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool,
But
but yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I hope it turns into something else, and it was turning into that. It was before
Hmm.
all this.
See, and that's why I do. Look, that's why I do what I'm doing because it's more than what you just said. The indie white boy scene. It's like there is so much quote unquote color out there in the musical landscape that people
Hmm.
have no idea what's going on. And
Yeah.
that's the reason why I try to do what I do. Because the underground is vast with talent, with color, with all, and I mean color in like in texture. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
music is colorful to me because it has so much texture and layers in there, and the arrangements are so great. And that's what I'm saying. It goes across the whole gambit of everybody, all across the country, and
Hmm.
including this city.
Yeah.
So
There's so much.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do. And
Yeah. There's so much hidden talent that's just not being shown the light, or you know what I mean? That's not being like put up on a platform, and it should be.
that's what we're trying to do. That's why, that's why I hit you up. Like, man, I got to talk about this music that you're putting out, man, because it's amazing.
I really
You know,
appreciate you reaching
yeah,
out to me.
yeah, man. I also, because you know, you know, you part of what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that experience we just talked about, man. We'll always have that. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
kind of makes us family in a way.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I helped you come out of your shell a little bit. You
You
helped
really
me do
did.
something, and it all worked out. And I love what you guys do. I love what you do. Period. And I trip over a chance to go see you guys play anytime that I can. I
Yeah.
rode my bike to that show. That you know what I'm saying? Oh,
The in the round one.
yes, I rode my bike all the way to the Talia Hall. to go see you guys play, man. And it was great, and I enjoyed it, you know. And every time I go see you guys play, I enjoy. I remember when I first saw you guys.
Where was that at? I was like, was that around 2013?
It had to be. It was probably 2013 because you guys opened for blah 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 at the Portage Theater, and you were sitting in on guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who is this kid?" You know. And then you guys came on, and I'm like, and the girl who I was my girlfriend at the time, when you guys started playing, we looked at each other like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
That was such a it was like a weird show. It was really fun, but like it was just such an odd show. Because first of all, I feel like because blah 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 is so chill compared to us.
Yeah,
So,
you guys were all over the place, you know what I mean? I'm like,
but
who
like
is these guys?
even on top of that, the Portage Theater is just like I think there was like that had something to do with like the person running it or something like that. Like he was just kind of shady and stuff.
I don't
But
know how that came about, but it was an amazing night. It was great. It was
that was
great.
so
It was
fun.
huge theater, and it was really nice. I still have pictures from that night, actually.
Wow. I want
Yeah,
to see
but
that.
you guys blew my mind that night. We had no idea what the hell we was getting ready to see. But that had to be like 2013. But you guys had already been you guys had already been playing for like 2 or 3 years by that time, right?
Yeah, we started back in 2008 and we released our first thing in like 2010. That was like our first EP that we kind of hid. No one's gonna hear that ever. But in 2013, that's when we released our next stuff. And yeah, it was around that time we met blah 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 around like 2011. We already had like a rapport with them, so like at that point, you know, Solomon hit us up and just like, hey, like, can you play with me for this? I'm like, sure.
No problem. You sit in and work with a lot of different bands, from blah 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 to what's it, Esta Vivo? What's going on with Esta Vivo?
Esta Vivo was just that was our friend. Yeah, that was our friend Ryan. He's an old like childhood friend of ours, and around the time we started with Avantist, he wanted to start his own band too because he was just super into. He used to be in a band called Berries, which was like it was created during the time when like DJs were like super hot, and not just DJ, like any DJs. It was just like Daft Punk, like Justice, you know what I mean, like that kind of DJ, where just like that kind of dance music, like electro music, was just getting really hot and it was building up at that point. And they were like directly in the center of this storm. Berries, like they were doing dance music, but they were doing it live. They didn't have pre whatever. They were playing this dance music live, which was really cool. Everybody loved them. They were getting super big. They ended up opening up for Justice. But the thing is, when they opened up for Justice, this was at, I forgot what venue it was. They got there and all the equipment was set up, and they're like, no, we play live. Like, we have our instruments to play live. They're like, no, this is just a DJ set. So they're like, we can't do that. So they're like, okay, you guys are not going to play. We'll still pay you, but you guys can hang out in the back or whatever. And then that was like around the end of their career. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they're not playing anymore.
No, Berries ended back in. It was like a year. It was like a really hot year for them, 2007, and then they just stopped. But then after that, he wanted to create his own band, and he hit us up. So it was just pretty much 3 of the Avantists plus a couple of his friends, and we started Esta Vivo, which was super fun because like it was a lot of like, he had the ideas and he came to us with them, and then we would just kind of be like, just kind of like coloring in the music that he wanted to create. Whereas Avantist is just a lot of like clashing, a lot of like, you know, like just a lot of ideas at once that you just try to make sense of. Whereas Esta Vivo was just a lot more relaxed because we didn't have to worry about the actual creating of the songs, just about the coloring in of what he wanted, which was even more fun for us.
And you guys got a plans to play the DZ Fest a couple years back, right?
Yeah, we would do like
Vivo.
Yeah, we would do like back to back where it's like Avantist one night and then Esta Vivo another night, which is cool.
Did they do a DZ Fest in 2019? I can't remember. They did?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. That was the last one because they were going to do it this year, but then they kept pushing it back, and it's just like, okay, it's canceled.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to cancel it. Yeah, it's too many boogers in the air right now.
Yeah, a lot of boogers in the air.
Well, that's the reason why we wear masks, right? We keep the spit a lot out of it, you know.
Mostly boogers, yeah.
Mostly boogers, but But I'm hoping that that everything gets back to normal of some sort real soon, because I really want to get back out there and see you play, doing Troigo, doing these songs that I love to hear, and I want to see you get back with your brothers, little Arias 4, right?
Yeah, we're so like just like wound up that we want to play. You know what I mean? Like we're just like we're anxious to play. We're absolutely anxious to play together again.
So I guess it goes without saying that the Avantist right now is kind of on hiatus because of the COVID and
Yeah,
whatever.
for a little bit, and just like everybody needed like a little bit of space. There's like a little bit of like rift between the brothers just for a little bit, and then like we're all cool now and stuff. But uh, yeah, even then, it's just like we can't really do anything right now during this time. So that's why we kind of turned to like playing video games together, which is nice. It's a nice way for us all to like be together again. But then on top of that, we
Awesome.
wanted, it's like, why don't we just incorporate this with Avantis, since we recorded a lot of Avantis stuff with our buddy Bobby Wooten
Mm-hmm.
in New York back in December of 2019, and then we were gonna work on it remotely from there. But then everything just kind of, everything just happened, and he got busy with his stuff, and like, so we have a lot of music ready and like still like ready to be like written and produced and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
we just gotta wait a little bit, because he's super busy right now.
I
He,
got
he
you.
was, yeah. Have we told you about him before?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember that last interview we had. You guys did talk about wanting to work with some producer, and I can't. His name escapes me right now.
That was probably him. Bobby Wooten. He plays bass for David Byrne's band. He was in
What?
David Byrne's. He was in David Byrne's American Utopia, the HBO thing, and he plays
Really?
live with them. Yeah, he's his bassist, and I still can't believe it.
Wow. Well,
He's an old childhood friend of ours. Yeah, and it's
really?
just like, yeah,
That's crazy, man.
yeah. So it's just like it blows our mind, and like everybody here, like that we all went to high school with and stuff like that, we're all just still like trying to wrap our heads around it. Yeah.
So you got a whole. You have your own whole album worth of songs of your own on the shelf. You have a whole album worth of Advantist stuff on the shelf.
Yeah.
Wow, 2021 ought to be a very productive year for you guys.
I feel like everything that we've like kind of built up to music wise is just gonna release. I hope. Yeah.
Let me ask you about. I mean, far as what you make off of these things. I mean, because I read an article about streaming and royalties. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's the same with the independents as it is with people from major labels. Because I was reading about what's his name, Jimmy Page was talking about streaming and royalties, and streamings are not paying the proper royalties. Is that
No,
a
you're not.
factor for you guys? For you?
Well, the thing is, it's like we never really worry about making money off of Avantist, even though we should.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like it. That's just how it's been, like that's how it's been since we started. It's really hard to make money off of it
Well,
because you need a certain amount of streams
the
to
money
like.
is at the shows, really. That's how the
It's
artists
with the
really make
merch.
money, right?
Yeah,
The merch
it's
and the
the merch. Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Well,
that's been tough for a lot of bands, especially touring bands,
yeah.
because they can't get out there and be with the people.
Exactly. That's why this is so debilitating. This past year has been so debilitating for so
Right.
many bands,
Right.
Like not just us. We weren't even going to tour this year just cuz it's just like it was hard financially for us to actually get out there, but seeing all these other bands who like just tour nonstop, just having that taken away from them, it's so disappointing.
I mean, being a
Sorry.
band from
Poor thing.
Chicago, it's fine. But most bands from Chicago, it seems like don't tour that much. I don't know if it's just me or I have noticed that most bands they just stay in Chicago, keep playing the same circuit over and over again, and it's kind of hard for whatever reason for Chicago bands to get on the road.
Yeah, I mean, financially it is. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
like the last time we went on tour was because we had some money saved up from our shows and stuff, and like we just had a van, and we didn't pay anybody to like actually book the tour themselves. I figured out how to do it, and I
Mm-hmm.
had some help from like friends in other states, stuff like that.
That's the only
So
way to do it. You have
yeah,
to
I mean,
have friends
yeah,
that can put you on in other states and put you up.
exactly.
And
So I organized the last, what was it? I did the 2018 tour and the 2019 tour. I organized that myself. And yeah, and I was just because I'm super like stingy and anal with finances and stuff like that. So me being in charge of that, and like us like being on a set, like, okay, like this is how much we're gonna spend today and tomorrow and this and that, and let's try to make this much, try to make that much. We were on top of it, so like that's the only way we survived.
mm-hmm. Well, there has to be that one person in the band that have to have the mind about business. It
Yeah.
can't be fun all the time. It can't just be let's just play the show and get out.
Hmm.
No, 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 no. We gotta sell this merch. We gotta collect at the end of the night. We gotta make enough money to get to the next thing. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
So you're the guy. You gotta have all of that responsibility, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, for me it was mostly finances, but it was like we were a good team like during tour because like we each had our own thing to do. You know what I mean? And we were all just like on top of it. I don't know. It was nice synergy between us when we were on tour.
Well,
So that's good.
I guess that's that family thing. Y'all family, so
Yeah.
you know how to work with each other, I guess, or not work with each other for that matter.
Yeah.
Sibling rivalry does kick in sometime, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
sometimes, yeah.
get a little itchy scratchy sometimes, but
A little issues.
but
Yeah.
that's just family though. That's
Yeah, that
family.
happens.
That's just
That
family,
happens.
man. So
Yeah.
so man, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, man, but I just wanted to give you more love on the new music out and tell me about where we can all get it and where it's streaming and all the other with the Friday night, all that stuff. Tell me about all of what you got going before I let you go.
Okay, so all right, so you could look up Troigo on Spotify. I got all my music on there, all my past singles. My newest single that came out is called Ay Mijo, came out in November.
Ay mijo.
Ay Mijo, yeah. There's yeah, you could check out all my singles on there. You could check me out on Instagram. I'm very active on there. On my Twitter, it's Troigo Official. You could look it up. With Avantist, we are currently in the process of music coming up sometime next year, I want to say. But for right now, we're doing our own Twitch channel, which we're going to have on our Instagram. Just go to our Avantist Instagram or our Facebook or anything like that. You could hit us up personally. You'll see our personal Instagram pages on there. I don't want to say mine because it's kind of inappropriate, but you'll see me. You'll see me on there. But yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for spending this quality time with EP tonight, man. I really appreciate you, man. Continued
I
success,
appreciate you.
David. For Troigo, go out there, get it, check it out. We're streaming it everywhere. David, till I see you next time, bro. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
What did I hear the other day? Happy Chinooka. I'm sorry. That's I'm sorry, but that just made me crack up, man. That made my day one day. Anyway,
give a happy Chinooka to everybody.
All right, man. Take care of yourself, man. Be safe. Have a happy holiday. Tell your family and tell the brothers I said hello and have fun tonight playing video games. And I'm gonna try my best to get off those 2 missions off Grand Theft Auto 4.
I believe in you. I believe in you, dude.
Thank you. Thank you so
much. Talk about it next
time. All right, man. Take it easy, man. And if you need anything, you know how to find me. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Send me the link to this, and yeah, just hit me up. All right.
I'm gonna be working on it tonight. Thank you so much for having me. No problem, man. Thanks for doing it, man. I appreciate you, man. This is my first time doing this, and I think it worked out perfectly. So
it's awesome. If you need any help with like any sort of like streaming tips or anything like that, I got you on it. Just let me know. All right.
I need some help with trying to figure out how to do some of this stuff with this radio stuff I got. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do HTML and all that stuff, and how to change things, and how to do streaming and certain stuff like that. This thing I got is convenient, but it's hard at the same time.
Well, hit me up with that. Maybe I might be able to help you out with that. I'm not good with the radio stuff, but maybe I might be.
But you know about the computer programming and whatever, some of this other stuff, right?
Yes. For the most part, yeah.
I will, man. So thanks again, man, and have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon, man. All right?
Yeah,
I'll
send
you the link.
All right, thank you so much.
David Arias from Troigo and the Avantist. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. Peace and love, and happy Chinooka.
Happy Chinooka, happy holidays.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
See you, man. Bye.
All right.